Hey, what's up, everybody? Imagine, you wake up tomorrow, and instead of that usual knot of stress in your chest, you feel free. Like, truly free. No nagging self-doubt, no worrying about what your boss thinks, no drama dragging you down. Sounds like a fantasy, right? But what if I told you there's a book that's been dropping wisdom bombs for over 25 years, giving people the tools to make that freedom real? That book is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and today, we're diving deep into its magic. This isn't just another self-help book, it's a straight-up revolution for your mind, rooted in ancient Toltec wisdom that hits like a lightning bolt. By the time we're done, you'll have 4 game-changing principles to transform your life, plus some practical hacks to start living them today. So, grab a coffee, maybe a notebook, and let's jump in. Oh, and if you're vibing with this, smash that like button and drop a comment later. Let's build this freedom tribe together. So, what's the deal with the 4 agreements? Don Miguel Ruiz, a Mexican author and spiritual guide, channels the teachings of the Toltecs, ancient Mexican shamans who were basically the OGs of personal mastery. These folks weren't about chasing gold or power. They were scientists and artists obsessed with understanding life's deeper truths. Ruiz takes their wisdom and boils it down into a simple but profound guide to break free from the mental cages we're all trapped in. He calls this cage the dream of the planet. And trust me, it's a concept that'll make you rethink everything. Let's unpack that. Ruiz says we're all living in a dream, a collective story shaped by society, family, culture, and history. Think of it like a massive movie script we're all acting in without questioning. This dream tells us who we should be, what's good or bad, what's beautiful or ugly, what's success or failure. From the moment we're born, we're handed this script through what Ruiz calls domestication. It's like training a puppy. We're rewarded when we follow the rules, like getting straight A's or being polite, and punished when we don't, like getting grounded or judged. Parents, teachers, even TV shows hook our attention and feed us beliefs. You gotta hustle to be worthy. You're not pretty enough. Don't speak up. It's rude. We soak it all up as kids because we don't know any better. By the time we're adults, we're so programmed we don't even realize we're following someone else's rules. Here's where it gets wild. This dream isn't some happy fairy tale. For most of us, it's a nightmare. Why? Because it's built on fear. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. Think about your life for a sec. How many times have you held back from chasing a dream because you were scared of what people would say? Or beaten yourself up for not being perfect? That's the dream of the planet at work, keeping us stuck in a cycle of stress, guilt, and drama. Ruiz says it's like living in a fog, a mitote in Toltec terms, where 1,000 voices in our head are shouting conflicting messages, and we can't see the truth about who we really are. I'll give you an example. A few years back, I was obsessed with pleasing everyone. I'd say yes to every favor, twist myself into knots to avoid conflict, and lose sleep over what my coworkers thought of me. I thought that's just how life was, hustling for approval. But reading the 4 agreements was like someone flipping on a light switch. Ruiz showed me I was living in this foggy dream, chained to beliefs I didn't even choose. And the craziest part, there's a way out. That's where the 4 agreements come in. 4 principles that act like keys to unlock your freedom and rewrite your dream into something beautiful. Before we dive into the agreements, let's talk about why this matters. Ruiz says we're all magicians, creating our reality with our thoughts, words, and actions. But most of us are using our magic to create hell, a life of suffering, self-judgment, and conflict. The 4 agreements are about flipping that script, using your magic to create what Ruiz calls heaven on earth. Not some fluffy afterlife, but a way of living now where you're at peace, authentic, and full of love. It's not about being perfect or meditating on a mountain for 20 years. It's about making small, intentional shifts that add up to a massive transformation. Ready to learn the keys? Let's break them down, one by one, with some real-world stories and tips to make them stick. Agreement number 1. Be impeccable with your word. First up, be impeccable with your word. This one's the foundation, and it's deceptively simple. Your word is your power. It's how you express yourself, shape your reality, and connect with others. Ruiz calls it pure magic, like a wand you wave to create or destroy. Being impeccable means using your words with truth and love, never to harm yourself or others. It's not just about avoiding lies. It's about steering clear of gossip, negativity, and self-criticism, too. Think about how words land. Ever had someone say something cruel, and it stuck with you for years? Ruiz tells a story about a mom who, in a moment of stress, told her daughter, "Shut up, your voice is ugly." The girl believed it, stopped singing, and carried that shame into adulthood. That's the dark side of words, what Ruiz calls black magic. We cast spells like that all the time without realizing it. Like when you tell yourself, "I'm such a failure after a bad day," or gossip about a coworker to feel better. Those words plant seeds that grow into doubt, resentment, and drama. Now, flip it. Imagine using your words to uplift. Instead of saying, "I'm so dumb," you say, "I'm learning, and that's dope." Instead of gossiping, you tell your friend, "You crushed that presentation." Impeccable words create love and truth. They're like planting flowers instead of weeds. I tried this after reading the book. I used to trash talk myself when I messed up, like, "Why can't you get it together?" But I started catching myself and saying, "Hey, you're trying, and that's enough." It felt awkward at first, but over time, my self-talk shifted, and I felt lighter, more confident. Here's a real-world hack: start a word audit. For one day, notice what you say to yourself and others. How much is negative, complaining, judging, doubting? How much is positive, encouraging, grateful, kind? Then, challenge yourself to flip one negative phrase a day. Instead of "I'm so stressed," try "I'm handling this, one step at a time." It's like flexing a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger your impeccable word gets. But it's not just about you. Your words ripple out. Ever notice how one person's complaint can sour a whole group's vibe? Or how a kind word can light up someone's day? Ruiz says gossip is the worst kind of black magic because it spreads poison. I saw this at a family party once. Someone started gossiping about a cousin's new job, saying, "Oh, they're just faking it." The vibe tanked, everyone got judgy. But when I chimed in with, "I bet they're killing it, let's celebrate," the mood shifted. That's the power of your word. You're not just talking, you're creating. Why is this agreement so hard? Because we're conditioned to use words carelessly. Society rewards snarky comebacks and hot takes, not thoughtful truth. Plus, our inner critic is loud, fed by years of domestication. Ruiz says being impeccable starts with self-love. If you love yourself, you won't use words to tear yourself down, and you'll naturally spread that love to others. It's like filling your cup so it overflows. So, Agreement 1 is your call to wield your word like a superhero, creating beauty and breaking the chains of negativity. Agreement number 2, don't take anything personally. Next up, don't take anything personally. This one's a straight-up superpower. Ruiz says nothing other people do or say is about you. It's about their dream, their own beliefs, fears, and struggles. When someone snaps at you, ignores you, or praises you, it's a reflection of their inner world, not your worth. This agreement is like putting on an invisible shield that lets criticism, drama, and judgment bounce right off. Let's paint a picture. You're at work, and your boss says, "This report is garbage." Ouch, right? Your first instinct might be, "I'm a failure, they hate me." But Ruiz says, hold up, that's their stress talking, maybe their bad day or their own pressure. It's not about you. Same goes for praise. If someone says, You're amazing. That's awesome. But don't let it define you either. Their words are their story, not your truth. I learned this the hard way. I used to take everything personally. A friend didn't text back. They must be mad. A stranger gave me side eye. I must look weird. It was exhausting, like I was carrying everyone's opinions on my back. Then I read the 4 agreements and started experimenting. One day, a coworker threw shade about my presentation style. Instead of spiraling, I thought, that's their vibe, not mine. I asked them for feedback calmly, and turns out they were just jealous of my confidence. By not taking it personally, I stayed cool and kept my peace. Here's why this clicks. Everyone's living in their own dream. Your mom's nagging. That's her worry, not your flaw. Your partner's moodiness. That's their stress, not your failure. Even hate comments online. Those are just strangers projecting their insecurities. When you stop absorbing other people's stuff, you free up so much mental space. It's like decluttering your brain. Try this. Next time someone's words sting, take a deep breath and say to yourself, this is their story, not mine. Picture their words as a cloud passing by. Let it float away. If it's hard, journal about it. Write down what they said, then write why it's about them, not you. Maybe your friend's silent because they are overwhelmed, not because you're boring. This shift takes practice, but it's liberating. You become untouchable, not because you're cold, but because you know your worth isn't up for debate. Ruiz ties this to self-love, too. When you don't take things personally, you stop seeking validation from others. You don't need everyone to like you because you like yourself. It's like Beyoncé strutting on stage. She's not sweating the haters, she's shining. That's the energy we're going for. This agreement isn't about ignoring feedback. It's about filtering it through your own truth, not letting it hijack your peace. Agreement number 3, don't make assumptions. Agreement 3, don't make assumptions. This one's a drama killer. Ruiz says we love to assume we know what's going on, in other people's heads, in situations, everywhere. But assumptions are like guessing the plot of a movie you haven't seen. They are usually wrong, and they create chaos. Instead, Ruiz says, seek the truth. Ask questions, communicate clearly, and stop filling in the blanks with your own story. Here's a classic example. You text your bestie, "Wanna hang this weekend?" They don't reply for a day, and your brain goes, they're ignoring me, they don't care. You're mad, you're hurt, and you're already drafting a shady response. Then they text back, "Sorry, my phone died, and work's been nuts, let's do Saturday." Oops. Your assumption created a whole soap opera for nothing. We do this all the time. Assume our partner's mad when they're just tired. Assume we failed a job interview when they're just slow to respond. I fell into this trap big time. I once assumed a friend was flaking on plans because they didn't value our friendship. I got all petty, stopped reaching out, and let the vibe sour. Weeks later, I found out they were dealing with a family crisis. If I'd just asked, "Hey, everything okay?" we could have avoided the mess. Assumptions are like quicksand. They pull you into drama before you realize you're sinking. Ruiz says the antidote is courage to seek clarity. Instead of assuming, ask. Say, "I noticed you've been quiet. Are we good? Or can you explain what you meant by that?" It's scary because it means being vulnerable, but it's also empowering. You're taking control of the story instead of letting your imagination run wild. This applies to yourself, too. Don't assume you're not cut out for something. Try it, test it, find out. Here's a hack: play the truth detective. Next time you catch yourself assuming, like, "They didn't invite me, they must hate me," pause and list 3 other possible explanations. Maybe they forgot, maybe the event was small, maybe they thought you were busy. Then, if it matters, ask them directly. It's like switching from a blurry lens to HD. You see the situation clearly, and the drama dissolves. This agreement saves relationships, too. Ruiz says half the fights in love or friendship come from assumptions. Like, you assume your partner knows you want them to call more, but you never said it. Then you're mad when they don't. Instead, say, "Hey, I'd love if we talked more. Can we make that happen?" Clear communication is like WD-40 for life's rusty moments. It keeps things moving smoothly. Agreement number 4, always do your best. Last but not least, always do your best. This one's the glue that holds the others together. Ruiz says your best isn't about being perfect. Perfection's a myth that keeps us stuck. It's about giving what you've got in the moment, whether that's 100% on a good day or 20% when you're drained. Your best changes with your energy, health, and circumstances, and that's okay. The key is to act with intention, then let go of guilt or regret. Think about it like running a race. Some days, you're Usain Bolt, sprinting at full speed. Other days, you're battling a cold, and just finishing is a win. Both are your best in that moment. Ruiz says when you do your best, you honor yourself. You're saying, "I'm human, I'm trying, and that's enough." This agreement shuts down the inner critic that whispers, "You should have done more." I felt this one personally. I used to push myself to exhaustion, thinking best meant overworking. I'd stay up late on projects, skip self-care, and still feel like a slacker. After reading Ruiz, I reframed it. Now, I ask, what's my best today? Some days, it's editing a killer video. Others, it's just answering emails and chilling. Either way, I'm at peace because I gave what I had. And here's the magic. When you pair this with the other agreements, like not taking setbacks personally, your best keeps improving. Try this. At the end of each day, reflect. Ask, did I do my best with what I had? If yes, celebrate, maybe a little dance or a hell yeah. If not, no shame. Just note what held you back, maybe stress or distraction, and plan one small tweak for tomorrow, like setting a timer to focus. This builds a habit of self-compassion, not self-punishment. Ruiz says doing your best makes the other agreements stick. You won't always be impeccable with your word. Old habits creep in. But if you're doing your best, you'll catch yourself and try again. Same with not taking things personally or avoiding assumptions. Your best is your commitment to growth, not a score to beat. The bigger picture, creating heaven on earth. So, we've got our 4 keys. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. And always do your best. But what's the point? Why go through the effort? Ruiz says these agreements are your ticket out of the nightmare dream and into a new dream, your personal heaven on earth. This isn't about escaping to some fantasy land. It's about living now with joy, authenticity, and love. Let's break it down. Ruiz says we're all artists, painting our life's canvas with our beliefs and actions. The dream of the planet hands us a palette of fear-based colors: guilt, shame, anger. The 4 agreements give you new colors: truth, freedom, compassion. When you use them, you paint a life where you're not chained to others' opinions, where drama doesn't run the show, where you love yourself and others without conditions. Picture your day with these agreements. You wake up and speak kindly to yourself. Today's gonna be dope. Someone cuts you off in traffic. You shrug. That's their rush, not my vibe. Your coworker's vague email doesn't spiral you into assumptions. You ask for clarity. And at the end of the day, you know you gave your best, so you rest easy, no regrets. That's heaven on earth, a life where you're free to be you, unapologetically. Ruiz gets deep in the book's later chapters, talking about breaking old agreements, those toxic beliefs like I'm not enough or I have to please everyone. He compares these to a parasite in your mind, feeding on fear and drama. To kill the parasite, you need awareness and action. The 4 agreements are your weapons, but Ruiz also shares Toltec tools like facing your fears head-on, forgiving others and yourself, and embracing the angel of death. Not literally dying, but letting go of the old you, the one tied to the nightmare dream, so the real you can shine. Forgiveness was a big one for me. I used to hold grudges, replaying old hurts like a bad movie. Ruiz says that's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Forgiving doesn't mean excusing bad behavior. It means freeing yourself. I tried it with an old friend who betrayed my trust. I wrote a letter, never sent, saying, "I forgive you, not for you, but for me." It was like dropping a backpack of bricks. I felt lighter, ready to move forward. Ruiz also talks about living like each day's your last, not to be morbid, but to spark urgency. If you had 1 week left, would you waste it on gossip or grudges? Nah, you'd tell people you love them, chase what lights you up, and savor every moment. That's the warrior's path, living fully, fearlessly, now. Making it real, your next steps. All right, fam, let's wrap this up with some action. The 4 Agreements isn't just a book to read and shelve, it's a lifestyle. Ruiz says transformation takes practice, like learning to ride a bike. You'll wobble, you'll fall, but keep going. Each time you honor these agreements, you reclaim a piece of your power, breaking the chains of domestication. Here's your challenge. Pick one agreement to focus on this week. If words are your thing, try being impeccable. Catch yourself when you're about to complain or self-criticize, and flip it to something positive. Like, instead of "I'm so behind," say, "I'm making progress." If drama's your kryptonite, work on not taking things personally. Next time someone's rude, think, "That's their baggage, not mine." Write it on a sticky note, set a phone reminder, whatever keeps it front and center. To make it fun, track your wins. Grab a journal or your notes app and jot down one moment each day where you nailed an agreement. Maybe you didn't assume your friend was mad and asked instead. Boom, win. Maybe you did your best on a tough day. That's a victory. Share your progress in the comments below. I want to hear how you're rocking this. If you're hungry for more, snag the 4 Agreements. It's a quick read, under 200 pages, but it's like a lifetime of wisdom packed in. There's a link in the description. Plus, check out Ruiz's other books like The Mastery of Love for deeper vibes. And if this video lit a spark, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so we can keep exploring life-changing ideas together. Let's be warriors, not victims, and create a dream that's all love, no fear. One last thought. Ruiz says happiness is a choice. You don't need a perfect life or everyone's approval. You just need the courage to live these agreements, one day at a time. So, what's your choice, hell or heaven? I'm choosing heaven, and I'm hyped to have you on this journey. Peace out, and let's make some magic.